What's up guys, it's Mike for Sim Racing 604 and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. And today I'm very excited to introduce you to no less than 6 mod updates or new mods from the great Shaun Clarke. So for those of you who use Assetto Corsa mods, you probably already know the name Shaun Clarke. He's the genius behind the Seat Leon or the Ginetta G55 cars you've seen on Race Department. They're some of my all-time favorites. Absolutely incredible cars, way more fun than they should be considering the specs of these cars are not outrageous, but the cars are just so well done by Shaun, and I was very excited when he reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try his 6 major updates or new cars. So these are them. I'm going to introduce you to them. They're not in full release yet, so I owe it to him not to do a review of them, but I did want to give you guys a little preview of them. No surprise, all 6 are fantastic. So I will provide download links once they become available, once Shaun has officially released these, but for now you'll just have to rely on these previews. So we'll start off with the Ginetta G40 GT5. This is a cool little racer, kind of reminiscent of the MX-5 or something like that. Great for wheel-to-wheel racing, extremely controllable. Good amount of horsepower, not fast by any stretch of the imagination, but it handles so extremely well that you can push it pretty hard, and a nice fun little car. So we'll take it around for a lap of Laguna Seca here. Next up, we have the Ginetta G55 Super Cup. So some of you might know this already from Shaun Clarke. This one has been redone. He enlisted the help of a gentleman named Lee Frost, who is not only an Assetto Corsa driver, but a real-world driver, and consulted with Lee on how to make this handle just like the real-world car, and you know the results are going to be fantastic, and they are. It drives a little more twitchy, a little more to handle now than it was before, but the results, I mean, they speak for themselves. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to drive. So this is the Ginetta G55 Super Cup here at Mugello. Next up, guys, is the Ginetta G40. Shaun has this amazing ability to take a car that would otherwise be quite boring to drive and make it super exciting, and that's exactly what this G40 is. It only has 100 horsepower, but you can push this car so hard that it makes it a really exciting drive, and it's really fun. So I took it out to Kichevo. Let's take a look. Next up, guys, the car that surprised me the most. This is the Mini Challenge, and I'm not a fan of this car in Automobilista. I know a lot of people love it, but I've never been a fan, but I tried this one out and really enjoyed it. I can imagine this being really fun in either single player or multiplayer, kind of wheel-to-wheel racing. You can see at the bottom of your screen there, this thing actually goes very fast. You see how fast that speed climbs, and it occupies such a tiny physical footprint. It's really fun to drive. Let's take a look. Next up, guys, we have a BTCC car. This is the Audi RS3. I took it out to Silverstone here. Very impressed by this car. Very responsive in turns. Not the fastest in the straight line, but really fun to throw around corners. Again, much like the Ginetta G40, you just find yourself pushing this thing harder and harder and learning the car's limits, and the limits are way out there is all I can say. You got to push this thing really hard to have any sort of trouble whatsoever, and you'll see in a second the external replays are beautiful. This is a stunning car. Shaun has outdone himself on the externals of this car, and it sounds great as well. Let's take a look. And last on the list, guys, we have the Ginetta G55 GT3. And all I can say is watch out for this one. This is the most impressive GT3 mod I've driven for Assetto Corsa, period. And I think if you're a fan of ACC, you'll find the handling characteristics very similar to that of ACC. Outstanding car, and I think you're going to be very impressed by this when we have the full release of this GT3. So that's going to do it, guys, and thank you so much to Shaun Clarke for reaching out. Really appreciate the opportunity to drive these, and yeah, like I said, when these are in full release, guys, I will definitely drop links. Thanks for watching.